I remember 1 year ago, by the way, happy COVID anniversary. 1 year ago, almost to this date, I was in Rochester, Minnesota at the Mayo Clinic Conference Center with some of the people on this call. Ken Crabb is nodding his head. Kyle was there. Kenny was there. And we were about to enter something that we had never experienced before, as not only as a Rotary, as an organization, but as a country and as a world. The pandemic was about to be declared within 48 hours. And I was to deliver keynotes at 7 PETs last year. And I could not get to the dates fast enough because they were canceling so fast. On Thursday, there were 100% of the people were at the event. On Friday, 50% of the people were at the event. And Saturday's event was canceled. And that's how it rolled. And everybody on this call has their story. We are still living in the pandemic. And interestingly enough, you will be the president likely to resuscitate your club after the pandemic. That's what we think the timing is going to be. There's no way to know for sure. But we want you to know that you can do this. Nothing we ask you to do is beyond you. I say all the time, Rotary never asks you to do something that you are unable to do. And you can use that line with your members. You know, when you're looking for volunteers, just say, they'll say, no, I can't. I don't think I can. Rotary never asks you to do something that you are unable to do. And it's absolutely the truth. We always deliver. Rotarians always deliver. And so I'm going to share with you today some ideas on how you can make the most of your presidency. Before I get started, I want to flash way back. I'm already down memory lane with the COVID anniversary, but if I go way back to college, I was at Wayne State University when I took a film class. And I learned back then, any film fans, thumbs up, you can use your real thumb or the icon thumb in the system tray below. Can you all see the system tray below? If you click on reactions, there's a chance to give me feedback. You can apparently laugh until tears come out of your face. You can love me. You can put your thumb up. You'll notice there is no thumbs down. You will not be disagreeing with the keynote speaker. So I was in this film class. Anybody like film, movies? Thumbs up? Come on, talk to me. Yeah. And so the film teacher taught us that film is a bunch of individual snapshots. You know this, right? Think about film strips back from early days in school, if you're old enough. And the same thing with motion pictures. A film is a series of snapshots. And the projector moves those frames. Back in the day, the standard frame was 24 frames a second. And so you never actually thought about it as an individual frame. It moved it so fast, hence the name moving pictures, that the movie just progressed. And what a lot of us do at this stage when we're getting ready to take on something big like being president of a Rotary Club, we start to think, well, I'm so mired in the snapshot, you know. I'm mired in virtual meetings right now, or I'm mired in hybrid meetings, or we've got physical meetings that nobody's coming to, whatever the current problem is, and we get mired in it. And really good leaders are able to look ahead in the movie to the end of the movie, to June 30th of 2022 in your case, where you can project, if you will, the end of the movie. And Stephen Covey, in his great book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, I don't recommend reading it. It's a tough read. Do the audiobook. But there's a chapter on begin with the end in mind. Start with where you want to be. And that's why I loved so much the prior sequence when we were talking about awards, because the awards come at the end of the year and they come after a good year's work because your club has been evidential in doing really good things. This is really strong stuff, everybody. So think about the end. Don't think about the beginning. Try not to dwell too much on all of your current problems. Some of them will solve themselves. The vaccine program will solve COVID, right? You have other problems to solve, and you're going to get all these great ideas here at PETS, right? And you're going to go back to your club, and you're going to take your little list, you know, whether you do it on camera or do it live, and you're going to say, here's what I learned at PETS, everybody. Here's what we're going to do to change our club this year and improve it. And you're going to read all this great stuff. And there are people in your club that are called standard bearers. Thumbs up if you know what I mean when I say standard bearer. Sometimes they're called traditionalists. Some people call them old fogies, but sometimes they're young fogies. But you bring these new ideas to these people and you can almost watch the physical reaction when they cross their arms and they say, I don't think so. So here you go, you spend time and energy coming to training to get good ideas, and then you're going to go back to your club and share those ideas with the club, and they're going to say, nope, we're not doing that. Nope, that is not good. Nope, we've never done that either. And that's an interesting conversation, isn't it? So what I want you to think about is how to plan the pushback, because you're going to get pushback. You've already gotten pushback, perhaps. So the question is, and you see behind me, I have a chessboard. Can you see it? Oh, it's over here. In chess, you think 5 moves ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Any chess players? Thumbs up if you play chess. You think 5 moves ahead in chess. Not so in checkers. In checkers, we only think 1 move ahead. It's not that kind of game. But in chess, we're thinking 5 moves ahead. So you're going to bring back these good ideas. Then you're going to get the pushback. Then what are you going to say? And I have the language for you. Time to write. Here's the language, okay? When they say we're not doing it, or no, we're not interested in that idea, you say, I'll tell you what. We all agree there's a problem. The problem could be retention, attendance. We're not raising any money. We want our club to be bigger. We don't have enough people of color in the club. We don't have enough women in the club. We don't have enough young people in the club. There can be all kinds of problems, right? We need a new location for our club. So here's the deal you make with the standard bearer. You say, look, we all agree there's a problem and we'd like to do better. Let's try this new idea for 90 days. And if it doesn't work, we'll go back to the old way. Do we have a deal? And they'd be hard pressed to say no. They've already agreed there's a problem, right? We have to try something. And you're not taking anything away from them, right? A lot of people, when they profile standard bearers, they're profiled as what are called protectionists. And there's a thing called a cognitive bias that's called loss aversion or fear of loss. People don't want anything taken away from them. That's very painful for them. The way the bias works is that I'm more fearful of people taking something from me than I am of people giving stuff to me, which is bizarre. I mean, that's how fearful most people are of fear of loss. So don't take things from your club. Give them extra stuff. Even if you are changing something, make it seem like they're getting more. Psychology, right? The psychology of leadership. Write it down. There's a lot of psychology in working with the 20 or 30 or 90 personalities in your club. They're all different. Let me tell you something else about team management. And that is, we are in what's called an egalitarian organization, Rotary. And that means everybody's treated the same. Thumbs up if you would agree. In general, we treat everybody the same in Rotary. It's one of our core values, right? But here's the thing about an egalitarian organization. We may say everybody wants to be treated the same, but I promise you, everybody wants to be treated special. And some of us even think we're special. Hands up if you think you're special. Come on, I know you want to. Yeah, man, you are. So we need to find a way as leadership to get the people to treat people special. And I have a special technique for that in a minute that I want to share with you. So every problem can be solved. Please write it down. Every problem can be solved. We know this because we're Rotarians. We're eradicating the world of polio. We know that the worldwide pandemic is about to be solved. Huge problem. Nobody thought this would be solved a year ago. At least nobody knew how it was going to be solved. And here we are today. It's lovely. So every problem can be solved, but I want you to write 2 subpoints afterward. The first subpoint, A, is every solution causes another problem. Every solution causes another problem. Thumbs up if I'm speaking the truth. You know it's true. So you'll fix something and then something else needs to be fixed, right? And the second subpoint is sometimes as Rotary Club president, you have to fix something before you fix something. And this made me crazy when I was a club president. I had to fix something before I fixed something. It made me crazy as district governor. Currently, I'm zone public image chair for Zone 28. We're up in Michigan, Canada, part of the Northeast, and also Alaska. And it just slays me because I think I'm going to knock this out quickly, and I find out, oh no, there's another problem. I mean, but the key to solving problems is identifying the problem correctly. Yes, of course. So we need to get really good at solving problems. Now, I'm going to give you 4 things to do next. I'm going to open it up for Q&A. You can type questions in the chat anytime. We're going to do this in real time, everybody. So if you have questions about anything we're talking about, type it into chat right now, and we'll have Kathy queue up the questions. Kathy, okay with you? Do you have time to do this? Okay, very good. So 4 things that as incoming club president you should do right now, and here comes that secret tip I'm going to share with you. It's $1 million pro tip. Here we go. And the first thing is that you need to shore up comms. That's how they say it in the military. Shore up comms. Comms, of course, is short for communications. So here's the issue. You have, if you're an average size club, you have 30 people in your club, right? And you know the president needs to keep in touch with club members. True or true? It's true. And so if those 30 phone numbers are not in your cell phone, it's going to make it hard for you to dial these people up. Because what are you going to have to do if you want to call somebody? You got to go find them on Facebook so you can call them on Facebook, or you got to go find the directory, either the paper copy or the club runner copy, right? You got to find the person, then you got to call them. It's going to take twice as long to do this. So the very first thing I would suggest, do it over your coffee in the next couple of mornings, is you enter 30 cell phone numbers into your phone. You'll thank me forever that you did this, because on the day you need to call somebody, they'll be there for you, and you can just bang out those calls. This was so important to me as president, as district governor, and now at the zone level, that I tell everybody this secret. And here's the $1 million pro tip. Your phone's contact list is a database. Write it down. My contact list is a database. And here's why that's important. Databases are word searchable. Thumbs up if you understand what I'm saying. I'm looking at your faces. Thumbs up. Thank you. So it's a database. That means if I remember, like, let's not all pretend we have perfect memories, because that's not how things work. You know that. So let's say you're blank on the first name of somebody in your club. It happens. Don't be embarrassed about this. It happens. You can remember this last name, but you can't remember the first name. So if you type the last name, of course, the first name comes up. By the way, it works the other way around. If you remember the last name, but not the first name, but not the last name, you can do that. But let's say you can't remember the person's name at all. Here is the pro tip. In the edit mode of the individual contact, I want you to type a 3-digit or even a 2-digit code before the first name of the Rotarian. I'll give you an example. I belong to the Troy Rotary Club of Michigan. So whenever I abbreviate the Troy Rotary Club, it's TRC. TRC, Troy Rotary Club. Those 3 letters never appear in an English language in any other way except an acronym. You with me on this? TRC. What would it be for your club? Type it in. Like if you're the Rotary Club of Rochester, it could be RCR, because those 3 letters never appear anywhere. It could be RC, right? Because RC never appears in the English language. Now here's the tip. If you type RC, if you do this with every member of your club, thank you, FRC, FLR, that's exactly what we're talking about. If you type, Kurt, if you type FRC in the first name field before the first name of every member of your club, when you type FRC into your phone, all of your Rotary Club members will come up in order. Is that the best or what? And if you can't remember the name at all, you scroll through that 30 names. Oh, that's who I'm trying to think of. And you push the button and you call that person. This is going to save you hours of time and help you bond with your Rotarians in ways that you could never otherwise do so. It's lovely. So right now, I'm in charge of a Rotary Public Image team. And the initials that I put in front of the first name of all of the 10 team members, ARPIC, Assistant Rotary Public Image Coordinator. and I type AR, that's all I have to do, ARP, 3 letters in, and all 10 come up. And it's perfect. And I am more in touch with my team than you could believe. Further, once you have this easy way to call people, you can do a phone bank, an outbound call center. So quarterly, 4 times in the next year, you can call everybody in your club. And here's another pro tip. When you call them the first time, do not ask them to do anything. They're already going to think you're asking them, you call them to ask them to do something. So when you call them the first time, you just say, listen, I just want to tell you, we don't talk enough. I really admire you, and tell them specifically why you admire them. Compliment. And I'm really glad you're in our club. And they'll be like this. They'll be like, well, what do you want? And you go, I don't want anything. I just called to tell you I love you, and I'm really glad you're in the club. And they'll go, oh, okay then. They're suspicious. But this is how you begin a new relationship, a new friendship with people. And you're going to get, watch my hands, you're going to get this kind of a feel with your club members, Right now it's like this. And these kinds of phone calls do this. I promise you they work. And so 50 people in the Troy Rotary Club, I called all 50 people 4 times that year. And guess what? My technique worked even when they didn't take my call. And there were members of my club that did not care to speak with the president. I'm good. You still know I love you. I did the right thing. Olive branch was extended. We had a really strong team. We broke all kinds of attendance records and awards records. We got more media attention that year than ever before. We won the RI. It was called something different back then, but we won the Rotary Citation, right? The award and awards that you're talking about here. So shore up your comms. Number 2, we're marching along here. Number 2 of the things you should do next is you should get goals with numbers. Good goals have numbers. So don't just say things, these oblique, ethereal, strange things like we're going to grow our club this year. Tell me how much. +5. And what +5 means is after the June purge next year, when the people who quit your club, and there will be people who quit your club while you're president, don't take it personally. That after the June purge, you are +5. Not you added 5 members and then 4 members quit. +5 means net 5 at the end of the year. Put a number to your goals. Put a number to, here are some things, write them down, quick bullet points. Membership gain, total fundraising dollars raised, total number dollars given to the foundation, average attendance at meetings. All of these are numbers. And you'll have others. The third thing that you should do right away is start thinking about something called outward-facing programming. This is the idea, and it's the old chicken and the egg argument that Rotarians love to have on bar stools across the fruited plain. Do we program for the interests of our club members, or do we program for the interests of people who don't belong in the club? And of course, a lot of people say, well, you got to cater to the people that are paying their dues. That's our customer. But I would argue that I think your customers are the people you want to be in the club. And perhaps the people you want to be in the club in addition to the club members, to put a finer point on it, right? SMART goals. I love it. Thank you, Kenny. What SMART is what? Kenny, break that down in text. I know M is measurable. A is a... Yeah. And if you read in between the lines there, all those are numbers, right? Measurable by definition is a number. Well done, Kenny. So this idea of outward-facing program, I'll give you an example. Let's say you wanted to have more women in your club, all right? You don't just get up every day and wish more women join your club. There are ways that you can work it out. For example, you could get female speakers to come in, and you put a number to it. Half of your speakers from now on, at least half, will be female. For the next 90 days, 3 of the 4 weeks will be females. Talking about, female topics. Now, what happens when you have a female speaker talking about a female topic? Who tends to attend that kind of a session? Females. Remember, nobody ever joins your club without visiting 3 times. So the more females you can get to visit, the more likely more females will join the club. And of course, I have experience with this topic. I never share anything with you that I haven't seen work personally. My club, one year, wanted to get more females into the club. We came up with this plan and it worked like a charm. We had 6 females join the club in a 2-month period. It had never happened before. But we catered to them. We didn't keep it up forever, but all female programming all the time. But we did it to get a ticket punched. We did it to get more women into Rotary, which was the right thing to do at the time, and we needed it. So bravo. So reviewing now of the 4 things you need to do next, then we'll do some questions. Shore up comms. Use the pro tip I showed you about keeping in touch with your members. Second is get goals with numbers. The third is outward facing programming. And the fourth is try new stuff. So if you remember nothing else about what I say today, please remember this. There has been a time in the past where you sat back in your club and you're watching what's happening and you say to yourself, I don't like this. This needs to change. This isn't working. Why do we keep doing this, right? For sure, you can think of something. If you've ever thought that your club should change something and you feel strongly about it, this is the time to change it. Because as club president, ladies and gentlemen, you are not only able to make changes to the club, you are obligated to improve your club. This is your time. This is your moment to leverage what we call in the speaking business, I teach presentation skills, podium power or position power. You're the president now. Even you don't think of yourself as president now because you're just a Rotarian. But you should start thinking of yourself as president because you're steering the ship now, baby. I just typed into chat 4 key links. I want to run them down with you right now. You can click on them now, and if your computer's smart, it will open those browsers and they'll be waiting for you to look at some other time. The first is an effective leadership ebook. It's free to you. My pleasure. You're welcome. The second is if you're involved with any kind of a Rotary group on Facebook, you want to, any kind of group on Facebook. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong link. The second link is Present Like a Pro. This will help you sharpen your speeches and presentations. You're going to give at least 50 speeches and 12 BOD meetings this year. Maybe more speeches than you've ever given in your life. If you haven't had any training in it, you should probably get a few tips. This is a free group. I run it, and I promise you're going to get some great advice. Join it. We'll let you in as soon as I can approve you. We do a little police check. I'm just kidding. The third link is another Facebook group. It's called Get the Word Out Now. It is unlike any other Facebook group out there. We don't do seagull posts in this group. You know what a seagull does, right? He flies over and he drops stuff and then they fly away. We don't do that in this group. We do a deep dive strategic planning on marketing plans. We take the marketing plan apart. We critique graphics. Some people put their graphics up after the campaign is done. Well, we're not much help to you then, are we? Put it up as you're getting ready to launch the campaign, and this group will make you better. Make sure your PI people, if you have a PI person in your club or somebody running social or promotion in your club, that they join that group. It'll be the best thing they do all year, I promise. If you like my style and my tips, you want to sign up for my Friday 5. The link is there. And then finally, a video that Kenny was referring to earlier. It's called 13 Ways to Kill Your Rotary Club. And I don't usually use negative titles. That's called the negative title, right? 13 Ways to Kill Your Club. You can understand how that's negative. And this little guy has 7,000 views on YouTube now. Apparently it resonates with the masses, so I'm happy about that. All right, we're going to comb chat to answer some questions. There aren't that many people on the call. Thank you for turning your cameras on. Hi, John, Jenny, Ryan, Karen, Sandy Campbell, how are you? If you'd like to ask a question, you can just take yourself off microphone or unmute yourself and ask. You can also type it into chat if you're having a bad hair day. Hi, Audrey.